Getting ready for the Blue Angels.
Yeah, the Blue Angels are out. Obviously, they're making their way to the flight line, and that's going to be something, Ron. I know a lot of people have been waiting all day, but since they got here, they've been treated to one heck of a show. There have been so many aircraft, and different aircraft too, doing different things. And we've had the same pilots come back and fly several times during the air show, and they've been putting on, again, like different acts, and they've been more impressive every single time, and we keep learning more about the aircraft too. And there's our Blue Angels.
Preparing to get ready to do their ground show, and then they'll be taking off and thrilling the crowd with their aerobatic performances.
It's one heck of an act. I know for the crowd that's here, I'm really excited for everyone because you can watch them online, or you can even watch them on TV or whatever, but you don't really get the experience until you're here and you feel and you hear them coming across the flight line. And the amazing thing is that when they're doing their act and they time things out perfectly, I mean, they keep hitting the same spots every single time, and they never miss a beat. And they're so in sync, and it's so impressive, and we can't wait for them to get going here. But again, in the meantime, we have other amazing acts happening for the crowd. And like we've heard today, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter too, Ron. It's not getting any cooler this afternoon. But I know if nothing else, this crowd's going to stick it out and watch our Blue Angels and watch the rest of the acts up until then. And we have so many other great things here happening, not just in the air, but we have all of our static displays too, and static aircraft that are here on the ground you can come and take pictures with. We have autograph booths, and I'll tell you, some of the best food in the state. You and I have been sitting here watching people walk by, eating, and having their smoothies and snow cones and
kettle
barbecue
corn,
and
you name it,
kettle corn. It's like it's such a great day for the families to be out here, and this is our second day. The air show is pretty much a repeat yesterday and today. There's not much of a difference. There's a little difference, but I've seen some of the same people come out twice. I've seen some of the same people here. I know friends of mine have come out twice just to see the same thing again, and that says a lot. And we have other aircraft taxiing back to the hangar, of course. And that's what I know. And Ken Peach, he's done such an amazing job today, and he can't say enough about it.
Now watch this. The dead stick landing is going to come up right up.
Oh, here we go.
Stop right, bang. Woo! Right to the face of the person there. Now that is professionalism. That's
skill.
Knowing your aircraft well. And it's a lot of faith on the person standing there in front of the plane watching that come up to him, and that's great. That is a crowd pleaser.
You're giving him a hug and saying, thanks for not smashing my face. Thanks for not rearranging my face. And Ken has been such a pleasure and such a blessing to us today. He's performed 3 different times. And the coolest thing is when he landed on that moving truck.
Oh.
There's not too many people in the world that can do that.
And it makes it look so easy, but it isn't. But he does it. He makes it look very easy.
Oh yeah, such good stuff, Ron. We've been treated to so many great things this weekend. I mean, not just with Ken and the Blue Angels that we saw yesterday, and our Vipers and our other air acts, the AWACS, and the EA6s and the Naval Squadron, and and then we got to see something really unique with Lieutenant Colonel Justin Lewis. He proposed to his girlfriend on the flight line yesterday. He was flying his microjet, and we just saw a package on that not too long ago. And that came down, his girlfriend helped him out, and then he grabbed the microphone and pulled her over and proposed to her where there was a big heart being drawn in the sky. It doesn't get any better than that.
You can't script that.
No.
You really can't. No, that's good. But now if she said no, that would have been bad.
But that'd have been ugly. Yeah, that'd have put
I think he was pretty
put a little damper on the
good.
on everything. There's so much history here this weekend too, and again, not just in the air, but on the ground. You can walk around and see some of the static aircraft that we have. You can go up and touch the planes. You can get inside the planes too. Talk to some of the pilots. We have pilots that are signing autographs and everything.
Well, just the static, the E3 Century has had people waiting in line a mile long to go walk through and see the inside of an E3 or the C-17 Globemaster 2 that we have here. Walking through that, it's amazing. You know, it's a big fuselage. And of course, you get out of the sun for a little bit, and it's neat.
Yeah.
But you get a chance to see just, you know, exactly the kind of aircraft that we have in the United States Air Force or the Navy here that provide a service to the country. And it's great. Let's see.
Our Blue Angels
are going out and do their thing. Here we go.
Yeah, this ground presentation is also amazing.
I'm Lieutenant Kerry Rickoff, narrator for the Blue Angels. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have had the unique privilege of demonstrating to the American public the precision techniques of naval aviation, hoping to inspire a culture of excellence and service to country. The maneuvers you will see demonstrated here this afternoon are coordinated tactical techniques developed by Navy and Marine Corps pilots in both peacetime training and actual combat. These maneuvers are neither stunts nor daring feats, but refinements of basic techniques taught to every prospective naval aviator. Here at Tinker, we will demonstrate these maneuvers at very low altitude in traditional Blue Angel formation, so you may see and take pride in the precise fashion in which your Navy and Marine Corps pilots are trained to fly. Off to your left, the 6 demonstration pilots are approaching their aircraft and being saluted by their crew chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, Flying Blue Angel number 1, the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels, from League City, Texas, Captain Eric Doyle. Flying Blue Angel number 2, the right wingman, from Canadian, Texas, Lieutenant James Haley. Flying Blue Angel number 3, the left wingman, from Chesapeake, Virginia, Lieutenant Jim Cox. Flying Blue Angel number 4, the slot pilot, from Memphis, Tennessee, Major Jeff Mullins. Flying Blue Angel number 5, the lead solo, from Wauwamigo, Kansas, Lieutenant Commander Brandon Hempler. And Flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo, from Lawton, Oklahoma, Lieutenant Commander Andre Webb. As the crew chiefs assist the pilots into their jets, you're witnessing the teamwork found in all Navy and Marine Corps units. The Blue Angels take a great deal of pride in personifying the Navy and Marine Corps values of honor, courage, and commitment. For more information on our support crew and pilots, we invite you to follow us on social media, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There you can find exclusive photos and videos, as well as a behind-the-scenes look at our organization and how we operate. The Navy's Flight Demonstration Squadron, the Blue Angels, is the oldest performing U.S. military aviation demonstration team. Since 1946, the Blue Angels have brought naval aviation to men and women of all ages across America. We were first based at Naval Air Station Jacksonville, Florida, flying F-6F Hellcats. We continued flying Grumman Corporation aircraft for 22 years, transitioning in late 1946 to the more powerful and faster F-8F Bearcat. In 1950, we transitioned to jet aircraft with the straight-wing F-9 F-2 Panther, the predecessor to the swept-wing F-9 F-8 Cougar, which we received in 1955. In 1957, the Blue Angels became equipped with high-performance aircraft.
Oh, sure.
With the arrival of the supersonic
Let's say I passed by, Walt.
In 1969, we received the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom and flew this supersonic jet until 1974, when we transitioned to the A-4 Skyhawk. We are now in our 33rd year of flying the combat-proven Boeing FA-18 Hornet. Off to your left, the pilots and crew chiefs will now start the General Electric engines that power the Boeing F-18. The noise level will soon become too high for you to hear a description of the checks they are performing. However, please note that each aircraft was carefully inspected by expert Blue Angel maintenance personnel prior to this afternoon's aerial demonstration. The Blue Angels fly the Boeing FA-18 Hornet, a multi-mission strike fighter, versions of which have been operational throughout the fleet since 1983. The Blue Angels taxi in tight formation, just as you will see them perform here this afternoon. This degree of precision has been a trademark of the Blue Angels since first established 73 years ago. 14 officers and 120 enlisted personnel comprise the Navy's Flight Demonstration Squadron. Pilots 1 through 4 fly in the diamond formation, displaying the precision flying required of Navy and Marine Corps aviators, while pilots 5 and 6 perform as solos, demonstrating the maximum performance capability of the aircraft. Once again, I'm Lieutenant Kerry Rickoff from Atlanta, Georgia, Blue Angel number 7, and the narrator for the flight demonstration, as well as the pilot for key influencers and media personnel we normally fly at each show site. Blue Angel number 8, Lieutenant Commander Adam Carrick from Stoddardsville, Pennsylvania, is the squadron's naval flight officer and events coordinator. Commander Matt Kaslick from the Woodlands, Texas, serves as the squadron executive officer. Our Marine Corps C-130 pilot is Captain Bo Mabry from Lompoc, California. Lieutenant Garrett Hopkins, our maintenance officer from Charlotte, North Carolina, is responsible for the men, women, and equipment that keep our aircraft flying. From Federal Way, Washington, the Blue Angel Flight Service Lieutenant Commander Aaron Hicks. From Sedalia, Missouri, our supply officer is Lieutenant Junior Grade Kristen Tolan. From Warrensburg, Missouri, our public affairs officer is Lieutenant Commander David Gardner. Our Boeing technical representatives are Mr. Jack Ralph from Fort Worth, Texas, Mr. Todd Lawson from Tigard, Oregon, and Mr. Landy Harnishfager from Nantucket, Massachusetts. Our financial management analysts are Mr. Patrick Rushing from Ocala, Florida, and Mrs. Deborah Valentina from Hazlet, New Jersey. Due to the unique layout here at Tinker, the demonstration pilots will be executing individual takeoffs and beginning the demonstration via a remote entry.
We are the Blue Angels. We are a team comprised of 15 officers, 121 enlisted and 5 civilian personnel, working together 141 strong to demonstrate the pride and professionalism of our Navy and Marine Corps team. We have spent 85 days in El Centro, California, flying 120 practice flights for a combined 720 training flight hours, honing our skills as aviators and technicians. For 58 days, we have risen before the sun to prepare for our 73rd air show season, where we will perform 61 demonstrations across 32 locations in the United States and Canada. All of our sweat, devotion, and dedication in our corner of the Imperial Valley has led to this moment. We are the Blue Angels, and the show starts now.
takeoff maneuvers here at Tinker. The 6 demonstration pilots have rendezvoused into the Delta formation. In this formation, the 2 solo pilots have joined on the left and right wings on the outposts of Major Mullins in the slot position. As they approach, you will get a good look at the entire Blue Angel formation prior to the individual diamond and solo maneuvering. For 2019 Blue Angels. Angels 5 and 6 are accelerating to 400 miles per hour as they pull back towards the flight line. To the left and right, the smoke comes on as they commence their approach for the first of their opposing maneuvers. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing 360 pass. The Blue Angel Diamond will momentarily be making its approach from the right. In relatively slow speed flight, they will give you a close look at the precision flying that produces the 18-inch wingtip to canopy separation between these 4 aircraft. From the right, the Blue Angel Diamond. Sensation of weightlessness or ballistic flight, similar to that experienced by astronauts in space, will now be felt by the 2 solo pilots. Approaching center point, Lieutenant Commander Hempler and Lieutenant Commander Ware will roll their aircraft to 90 degrees angle of bank and push forward on the stick as they perform the opposing knife edge pass. The Diamond is approaching for a maneuver that is likely familiar to those of you who have seen the Blue Angels perform in the past. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Diamond Roll. All 4 aircraft flying as one in this graceful 360-degree rolling maneuver. solar pilots will next demonstrate the inverted flight capability of the F-18. Approaching inverted from the left and right, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees over center point. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. To the left, the Diamond is setting up for their next maneuver. Approaching center point on Captain Doyle's command, all 4 pilots will simultaneously roll their aircraft 360 degrees as they perform the Diamond aileron roll. Here's Captain Doyle. Aircraft pilots and enthusiasts who appreciate the difficulties associated with carrier aviation will enjoy this next maneuver demonstrated by the 2 solo pilots. To the right, Lieutenant Commander Hempler and Lieutenant Commander Webb will establish a mirror image formation, but look closely for both aircraft are in the carrier landing configuration as they approach for a maneuver we call the Fortis. For Navy and Marine Corps pilots who must land their aircraft on the small and sometimes pitching deck of an aircraft carrier at sea, slow-speed flight is just as important as high-speed flight. In order to demonstrate the dirty, slow-speed handling characteristics of the F-18, Captain Doyle has called for the extension of the landing gear and tailhooks by the 4 Diamond pilots as they execute a maneuver performed by no other jet demonstration team in the world today. From the left, the Diamond Dirty Loop. To the left, Lieutenant Commander Hempler is approaching to demonstrate the maximum performance turn radius of the F-18. He'll execute a 7.5 G afterburning turn and exit the flight line vertically, showcasing the Hornet's slow-speed climb capability. As the 4 Diamond pilots approach once again, you should notice 2 significant modifications. While the wingmen, Lieutenant Haley and Lieutenant Cox, maintain minimum wingtip to canopy separation, the flight leader and slot pilot are both in the inverted position. From the right, the Blue Angel double throttle. From behind the spectator area, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are approaching the flight line at 400 miles per hour. Having rolled their aircraft 270 degrees and crossed with minimum separation, observe as both pilots sustain 6 times the force of gravity to cross their aircraft over center point. The 4 Diamond pilots are now stacked down and aft on a 45-degree bearing line to establish a right echelon formation. From the right, at 378 miles per hour, the Blue Angel Echelon Parade. Setting up for their next maneuver, Blue Angels 5 and 6 are converging on center point to demonstrate the rapid roll rate of the F-18's fly-by-wire flight control system. Crossing center point, they'll complete 2 consecutive rolls totaling 720 degrees with a closure rate of over 800 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing horizontal rolls. To the left, the 4 Diamond pilots have established a left echelon formation. Approaching center point, Captain Doyle will roll the formation 360 degrees into the 3 wingmen. During this extremely difficult maneuver, Major Mullins on the outpost position will experience 4 times the displacement generated by Captain Doyle's aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, the left echelon roll. Completing the roll to the right, observe as the three wingmen smoothly shift back into the Blue Angel. Now that Blue Angels 5 and 6 have your attention, you have seen firsthand the ability of a tactical aircraft at high speed to sneak into a target area virtually undetected. Lieutenant Commander Webb will complete the maneuver with a series of vertical rolls, while Lieutenant Commander Hempler completes his rendezvous with the Diamond to the right. To the right, Lieutenant Commander Hempler has joined the Diamond in a line abreast formation. Still maintaining minimum separation, the pilots must now align themselves by looking 90 degrees from their flight path towards Captain Doyle's aircraft. They'll climb up through vertical under heavy G as they perform the very difficult 5-plane line abreast loop. As they exit to the left, Captain Doyle calls for another formation change prior to detaching Blue Angel number 5. You have seen several flight profiles of the F-18 Hornet. The two solo pilots will next demonstrate precision roll rate control. Approaching center point, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees, pausing after each 90 degrees of rotation, crossing center point in the inverted position. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing 4-point hesitation rolls. The crowd, the 4 Diamond pilots are rolling out in trail formation for a dynamic separation maneuver. Crossing center point, they'll climb up through vertical and shift back into the Blue Angel Diamond. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel, a vertical break. Lieutenant Commander Hempler and Lieutenant Commander Webb are approaching to demonstrate the impressive pitch rate of the F-18 Hornet. Crossing center point, they'll execute a maximum performance climb with a split S reversal, bringing their aircraft back over show center point. next maneuver, the barrel roll break. Pulling through vertical, he will roll the formation 90 degrees and perform a split S, finishing with a dynamic separation maneuver. As the formation pulls to level, each pilot will perform an individual brake turn and exit the flight line in a separate direction. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel barrel roll brake. Back to the right, the two solo pilots are making their approach to the flight line. Crossing center point, they will simultaneously roll their aircraft 420 degrees in section. The double tuck over roll. Behind the crowd, Captain Doyle is rolling out the diamond formation for another dynamic maneuver, the low brake cross. Approaching center point, each pilot will perform an individual brake turn and exit the flight line in a separate direction. As each aircraft accelerates to 500 miles per hour, they will perform a reversal turn back towards the flight line. You should be able to follow the individual smoke trails as all four aircraft converge on center point with maximum closure and minimum separation. To the right, Lieutenant Commander Hempler and Lieutenant Commander Webb are approaching to demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of the Hornet in the clean configuration. They will pass before you, virtually standing Blue Angels 5 and 6 on their tails. At less than 120 miles per hour, the fly-by-wire flight controls provide slow speed handling that sets the Hornet apart in the air-to-air combat arena. The Section High Alpha Pass. front of the crowd to the left, the Diamond is rolling out to demonstrate the awesome power of these General Electric F404 engines. Let's listen as Captain Doyle calls for all 4 pilots to simultaneously select full afterburner. As they pass over center point, you will hear and feel the thunder of 8 engines producing 128,000 pounds of thrust. The Blue Angels, home based in Pensacola, Florida, completed an intensive winter training period at Naval Air Facility El Centro, California. The beautiful weather of the Imperial Valley provided us with the optimum conditions to fly each of the demonstration pilots on the 120 training flights necessary prior to our first public demonstration. Our show season opened on the 16th of March and runs through mid-November. The Blue Angels will perform 61 flight demonstrations this season while visiting 32 cities throughout the United States and Canada. The next portion of our demonstration will showcase all 6 aircraft flying in formation together. The Blue Angel Delta has been our signature 6-plane formation since 1958. Behind the crown to the right, the 2 solo pilots have joined the Diamond to form the Blue Angel Delta. From the right, at 400 miles per hour, the Delta roll. All 5 wingmen maintaining position as they roll their aircraft 360 degrees over center point. As they exit to the left, observe as Captain Doyle brings the formation back towards the flight line. Very shortly, all 6 aircraft will be approaching for the Blue Angel fleur-de-lis. In an aerial salute to our forward deployed forces, all 6 aircraft will separate, perform individual 360-degree rolls, and the 4 Diamond pilots will rendezvous through a looping maneuver. From the left, at 450 miles per hour, the Blue Angel fleur-de-lis. Let's listen in. two Solar pilots exit behind the crowd to the right. The three wingmen are in the final stages of their rendezvous and will soon be back on the wings of Captain Doyle and Blue Angel number 1. With the flirtily rendezvous complete, the Diamond will pass before you and exit the flight line to the right. High and to the right, the two Solar pilots are rejoining the Diamond for another Delta maneuver. As they rendezvous, observe as Captain Doyle executes a reversal turn, rolling out the formation for the Delta loop break cross. Passing through vertical, Captain Doyle tilts his head back, picking up the flight line here at Tinker. Over the top, he is floating the formation to place them directly over show center point. Now watch closely as Captain Doyle calls smoke on, ready break. As each aircraft accelerates to 500 miles per hour, they will perform a 1/2 Cuban 8 reversal. As they pull up and over the top, you should be able to follow the individual smoke trails as all 6 pilots simultaneously roll their aircraft 180 degrees and head back towards show center point. From 6 different directions with maximum closure and minimum separation, they'll converge on center point with a combined closure rate of nearly 1,000 miles per hour. For a description of our maneuvers and an in-depth look at our team, as well as individual biographies, we invite you to visit our website or follow us on social media, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. In front of the crowd, the Delta is making their approach to the flight line. Approaching center point, the entire formation will separate in dramatic fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angel Delta Breakout. Ladies and gentlemen, your United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron represents a time-honored tradition of pride, professionalism, and excellence spanning 108 years of naval aviation. The 2019 team takes a great deal of pride in saluting Navy and Marine Corps pilots, maintenance crews, and support personnel everywhere. From the left, your 2019 Blue Angels. One of the unique demands placed upon naval aviators is their ability to land their aircraft on a ship at sea. Whether it's a tactical jet, a propeller-driven aircraft, or a helicopter, each requires a skill the naval aviator must master. In order to perfect this skill, Navy and Marine Corps pilots spend a great deal of time in the landing pattern practicing carrier approaches. In front of you now, Captain Doyle and his wingmen will demonstrate a carrier pattern. Approaching the runway from the left, Captain Doyle is confirming that the landing checks have been completed and that each aircraft is in fact ready to land. Rolling out on final, they'll make constant power and lineup corrections, maintaining the optimum rate of descent for the proper touchdown point. The demonstration pilots you've been watching perform here this afternoon are but a small part of the Blue Angels team. The men and women in blue are all members of the elite Blue Angel maintenance crew. Through long, hard hours, long work, and unselfish dedication, they have each year for the past 73 years provided us with the aircraft availability necessary to perform each of these public demonstrations. As the aircraft taxi back, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the Blue Angel maintenance crew. Command Master Chief Chris Ziegler from West Monroe, Louisiana. Maintenance Master Chief Matthew Heathcote from Bradford, Illinois. Maintenance Chiefs Michael Galloway from Helena, Georgia, and Juan Marrero from St. Augustine, Florida. Crew Coordinator Andy Teague from Winfield, Kansas. Crew Chief Number 1, Jeremy Race, Severn, Maryland. First Mech Jeff Seymour from West Newton, Pennsylvania. Crew Chief 2, Logan Smith, Jacksonville, Florida. First Mech Stephen Reardon from Rosemount, Minnesota. Crew Chief 3, Jermaine Corpuz, Lahaina, Hawaii. First Mech Cassandra Shiflett, Shawnee, Kansas. Crew Chief 4, Ryan Johnson from Pensacola, Florida. First Mech Anthony Rodriguez from Houston, Texas. Crew Chief Number 5, Ariel Orango from New York, New York. First Mech Morgan Alvarez, New Orleans, Louisiana. Crew Chief 6, Jeff DeJus from Gonai, Haiti. First Mech Mac Mojica from El Paso, Texas. Crew Chief 7, Kyle Wood from Orange City, Florida. Runway Truck Alert Crew, Josh Granger from Chatsworth, Georgia. Tim Jose from East Berlin, Connecticut. Justin Johnson, Angola, Indiana. Kyle Thompson from Warren, Michigan. And Trevor Lamoureux from Bath, Maine. Quality Assurance Representative Clint Blakemore from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Aerospace Medicine Technician Clarence Presley from Pompano Beach, Florida. Public Affairs Representatives Chad Pritt from Turlock, California. And Tim Schumacher from New Carlisle, Indiana. Video technicians Mallory Morishita from Gardena, California, and Julia Dimascola from California City, California. Logistics Support Representative Kwame Kusi from Kumasi, Ghana, and Freddie Nunez from Moreno Valley, California. Maintenance Control Representatives Jeremy Hall from Thorndale, Texas. Life Support Representative Jack Reynolds, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Our maintenance support crew, Andrew Rader from Anacoca, Louisiana. Amber Stevens from Seymour, Connecticut. Jace Gerard, Ellicott, Colorado. Nathan Lyons from Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. And Jonathan Bartlett from Perry, Georgia. Music choreographers Jessica J. from Tallahassee, Florida. And Denasia Carabella from York, Pennsylvania. And our C-130 crew, Jason Glatfelter from Holtwood, Pennsylvania. Chris Maxheimer from Mount Pulaski, Illinois. And Anthony Black from Newport Richey, Florida. Taxiing just in front of you, the Blue Angel will momentarily be turning into the parking area. After a short maintenance debrief, they will be coming to the crowd line where you have an opportunity to meet the team. As they taxi back, I'd like to take one final opportunity to introduce the demonstration pilots you've been watching perform here this afternoon. Flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Lawton, Oklahoma, Lieutenant Commander Andre Webb. Flying Blue Angel number 5, the lead solo from Wauwamigo, Kansas, Lieutenant Commander Brandon Hempler. Flying Blue Angel number 4, the slot pilot from Memphis, Tennessee, Major Jeff Mullen. Flying Blue Angel number 3, the left wingman from Chesapeake, Virginia, Lieutenant Jim Cox. Flying Blue Angel number 2, the right wingman from Canadian, Texas, Lieutenant James Haley. And Flying Blue Angel number 1, the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels from League City, Texas, Captain Eric Doyle. Ladies and gentlemen, representing your United States Navy and Marine Corps, the Blue Angels 2019.
thanks for watching the fabulous Blue Angels and their performance here at the Star Spangled Salute Air and Space Show at Tinker Air Force Base 2019. We're wrapping up the show as the Blue Angels shut down. We wanted to take one more moment and pass it along to Colonel Bell, our 72nd Air Base Wing Commander, and allow him to give a few final thoughts about how great of a show we've had and how we want to get people out of here in an orderly way. I'll let you take it over, sir.
Absolutely. So 2 great days. We had a little weather event yesterday, which only caused us for a small pause, but we had the headliners to be able to showcase air power excellence on both days, and we're just extremely happy for that. We had a safe 2 days worth of flying, wonderful weather today for people to come out. Again, almost max capacity for the base. A lot of hard work has gone into this, so I want to thank all of those folks who are still working right now, but if they happen to see this, we're really thankful for all those folks that work behind the scenes to make this happen. And to your point on how to get out of here safely, we want people to just take their time, be very patient. We have a lot of folks trying to leave the base at the same time, so please exercise a little patience. Understand that everybody can't get out the gate at the same time, and hopefully we'll be able to do this in another couple of years, right?
That's for sure. We definitely want to be doing that in the next couple of years. Thank you very much for your leadership, sir. 2 air shows, that's amazing. Won't get that to Shepherd, but you have to come back. You have to come back and see us. I'm Ron Mullen, voice of Tinker. On behalf of everybody here, Jeff George from the Oklahoma Air National Guard and meteorologist on Channel 25, who made sure we had good weather today. Didn't do so good yesterday, but he made up for it today. Greg Davis from the 72nd Air Base Wing Public Affairs Office. We had a great time. Glad you could be with us, and we'll see you in 2 years.